The topic of today is identification, right? That's something that is extremely important to the realization. There is two different paths in the path of realization. It is the path of inward, the inward facing path, that who am I? Or it is the outward facing path. What is reality? What is this that is here? So they are both valid exploration. And today we are going to explore the who am I, in the sense of with what I'm identifying with. What is this identification? So who am I? This question touches the very essence of spirituality. Realizing our true nature is to rediscover our innate freedom. We often seek freedom, we seek happiness, we seek joy, we seek there is a longing within for something bigger, for something greater. We know there is something more than my very limited perception of life and my identity, my person. There is something in us that knows this. But often we keep on the wheel of seeking, in this endless seeking energy, because the seeking is fine, but it is from what I'm seeking that is wrong. I start my seeking from a place that is erroneous. And the image you can have is like if you are in Paris trying to find your hotel, but you are holding the map of New York. And it's like it just doesn't match. The road, the name, I cannot orient myself. That's the dilemma with when we identify with something we are not. It's normal to seek peace. It's normal to seek freedom and joy because that's our nature. So if I don't feel it, it's normal that I will feel the lack of it and then the impulse of seeking. So that's just natural. The suffering and the endless seeking start because I'm looking for this freedom from a place that is erroneous. So the starting point is wrong, and therefore everything will be misinterpreted. And that's why this question of identification is so important and crucial in this process. So who am I is the greatest question at the heart of all major mystical and spiritual traditions. I will say in I prefer. If my fundamental reality is boundless, is free and luminous, how did I end up feeling so small, isolated, trapped in my own experience? How it's possible that I read books, I listen to gurus, and then they tell me you are the light of the world, you are perfect, you are free, this is inner freedom, you are wholeness. But when I look at my experience, it's just the opposite. How can this be? What's going on here? And that's why this question is important, because from where you are looking is more important than what you are looking, because from who you believe you are will define what you are looking at. And that's why this identification and this question, it's really very, very powerful. So the core issue is identification. We, the pure presence, I identify with the content of experience. I lose touch with the quality of my true nature, and I impose on myself the limitation of experience. That's what we explore in our meditation when we began. I see sensation. I interpret those sensations as a physical body. I imagine myself to be inside of it. I identify with the physical body, with the psychological movement, with the perceptual interpretation. So I feel completely trapped within this, and from that prison that I made up, I'm looking for peace. That's the issue. You cannot imagine yourself, feel yourself to be trapped, and then wanting to be released from it. That's why the identification goes below all of this and say, instead of seeking the release from this sense of limitation, find out who you are. Because maybe the limitation is not really a true limitation upon what you are. It's an experience that you're having. And who are you without time? We saw this, right, in the meditation. Without the past, without the future, who am I? The mind is time, and the individual exists only in memory or anticipation, believing that time and our environment define us. So to the mind, it needs the memory to define who I am, right? What's my name? I go into memory. Oh, my name. All right, this is my name. What do you do? Oh, I go to the past. This is my work. What is your family? Oh, my family, my dad is this and that. So this is what. Oh, my emotion. Oh, they didn't go in the past. And the future is the same. It uses the past to project a tomorrow. I am what I memorize, what I have memorized from yesterday, and I will be what I've projected. I use the memory of yesterday to project who I will be tomorrow. So this entity that we call an ego, it's a pattern of energy. It's a mix of sensation, of perception, and thought and thinking. So it's an ongoing pattern of energy that we identify with. So what is very interesting is like phenomena is a shining forth. In fact, it's the opposite. Memory and anticipation are merely projections of our own presence, a manufacture of our own making. Awareness identifies with its own projection. Awareness is I. Who are you? I am this body. Who are you? I am my passport, my apartment, what I own. Who are you? What I think, my emotions, my thoughts. But when you look carefully, you don't find yourself there. That's a clear experience, but that's not you don't find your true nature there. This does not define you. And it's very curious because experience arises from our consciousness. Without my presence, there is no experience for me. So experience is come from, it's a shining forth of myself. I use this image that is very interesting because water has no shape or form, right? Water is this molecule, H2O, in of itself doesn't have any form and shape, right? You can see it in the river. It will take the shape of the river, of the bed of the river. The sea, it can have waves, it can move, it can have different densities. It will adapt to a glass, the shape of the glass. If you look at a glass and you put water on it, right? You take a glass of water. What shape is the water? Well, clearly like a cone, let's say. Okay, but that's the shape it have, but that's not the shape it is, because it doesn't have a shape. It can take all the shape, but as soon as I put this water on another container, it will take the shape of the other container. So the water, even though it is in the glass, it is free of the form of the glass. It's not because the glass is in a shape that the glass is stuck in that shape. So when I say I'm not a body, I'm not saying I'm not having an experience of a you of individuality. I'm saying the experience of individuality is not stuck, it doesn't define me whatsoever. So that's the freedom that we are and we have, no matter what's happening. The water is free of the shape, doesn't matter the container. Even if you put water and you close it in a bottle and you move it and nothing goes out, that doesn't mean that the water has lost its capacity of freedom, of being everything. So it's really beautiful, and it's very beautiful also, this image, because the body is almost a lot made out of water. So it's kind of interesting from that perspective. But I don't want to get to science. It's just kind of an image, right? Not to go crazy on this. So in that way, the present I am innately free from phenomena. So even if when I cling to uh, a personality, and I believe that this personality is myself, is what I am, that's when I put water into a glass. Yeah, I say I am David. Okay. Okay. But David does not define me. David is an experience of something. So my nature is free from phenomena, is free from the sensation that I'm having, is free from the perception that I'm having, is free from the thought that I'm having, is free from the interpretation that is presenting to me. Even though it is happening, even though I'm having a clear experience, I'm free from it. So that's also a pointer to the. Wait a second. Okay. That's also a pointer to the engine of suffering. Because if I identify as a farmer, I will have the attraction to become a king, to have more social status, to have more power, to have more money, to have more whatever. Yeah. So there will be an attraction to, I don't want his personality, I want this personality. I want the farmer to become a king. That's the attraction part. If I take myself for something, I will have this attraction if I don't like the something. And if I like the something, because I'm a king, I have everything I want, I have power, all my desires are met. But then I live in fear because I live in fear of losing this status. Because I know that everyone else wants that. So I'm rejecting the farmers, I'm rejecting other personalities because I don't want to be kind of contaminated by others. So I'm in a state of rejection of others. And that's the both polarities of identification of the spectrum. As soon as I identify, I start to suffer because I cannot identify as an entity, as a specific entity, and not be in that attraction rejection energy. So peace. Suffering does not end when the farmer finally becomes a king. It ends when you stop identifying with all character. So the peace is not the farmer to become a monk. It's not for you to become spiritual. For you, for you. Wait, I have some echo. It's okay. So it's the the you reach peace not by the farmer becoming a king or the farmer becoming spiritual, or this process of, oh, this personality is not enough, but if I do enough process, if I do enough cleaning, if I do enough ritual, if I become a monk, if I become Christian, if I become Hindu, if I become whatever, then I will be free because my personality will be something else. But that's the same personality. It's more of the same. No, you are free by understanding what you are, by freeing yourself. And it's not a freedom that you gain, it's a freedom that you realize. You see that you are already free from the identities that are presented to you. Because I don't know if you have noticed, often we say, I am this personality or this individual. But if you look at your life, we are schizophrenic. We have like hundreds personalities or thousands, and we change through the years. You are not the same person at work that with your family, that when you are alone, or that when you are okay, Maria. Yeah, that's fine. Do what you can with your Wi-Fi. So we constantly change our personalities. Have you noticed? When you are with your parents, you are a completely different personality than when you are with your son, with your husband, with your boss, with the police, and when the environment changes, you change completely. If you are dropped in an island with 10 other strangers, you will change. You will see very fast. So we say I am this again, but what do you mean by this personality? Well, like it's one thing. It's not. And you can see this by exploring your thoughts very carefully, just like we explore our sensation very carefully. You can explore your thoughts and you will see person identity, this person that you believe to be, it's a pattern of energy that is constantly changing. So you cannot find yourself in there either. Because you can't identify with something that is constantly morphing and changing. It's impossible. So it's an inversion, right? Out of habit and an addiction to being someone, we feel threatened by the emptiness of our nature. Peace becomes fearful, freedom becomes death, wholeness becomes loss, because they threaten the self we believe to be, or I believe to be. Do you get it? It's so, when you see it, you cannot unsee it. It's so obvious. Like, if I take myself to be a specific person that I identify with, whatever come from outside that questioning this identity, I will receive it like a death threat. Like you want to kill me. So that's how the this pattern, this egoic energy feel that freedom is a death sentence. Because without my stories, without this individual that I believe myself to be, I'm nothing. I'm nothing. I'm lost. And I live in fear. So that's the inversion, right? As soon as we identify as an individual, we feel trapped. And it's terrible. Why? Because the very freedom that we seek, we start to perceive it as a threat. So that's the samsara and the endless wheel of seeking. And I wanted to name the physicality of identity. Our attachment to these identifications, the fear, anxiety, and stress, finds its physical mirror in the body. That's why I talk so much about sensation. I do so much work around sensation, because identification is not a mental thing only. We have, when you close our eyes and you want to have an image of yourself, you will have a physical image, right? But you will it feels like something to be David. It has its specific pain, its specific anxiety, very specifically in very specific part. So that's why we have difficulty to release our stress, our fear, and our anxiety, because without this stress, this tension in my neck, I lose myself. I need this pain now, because this pain is me, it's part of me. This sensation is part of who I am. So I need it. And that's why often we want to free ourselves from our pain and our anxiety and stress. At the same time, we need it. So we don't really want to let it go because it's part of our identity. And that's why often it's such a long process of years of it's a whole it's a whole deal when often the possibilities if you release yourself from the whole identity, often the light, this realization smooth things out, and then you can really, if you have tension in your body, you can accept the tension, do something functional about it, but there is not this clinging of the tension because of the fear of disappearance. So that's why working with the body is very, very interesting. And uh, there is a mirror for every mental addiction, for every mental identification. There is a reflection in the body. For every fear I'm holding in my mind, there is a tension in my body. So presence, what I am, is all allowing because it doesn't have any boundary. So finding in us this silence that is capable of holding everything with tenderness and love. That's why tenderness is so important to me. It's really the core of it. Because you need something that welcomes this fear. Because this fear is your own, it's your own belief. It's your own energy that is showing up. It is showing you something. The tension you feel, the anxiety, the anger, the resentment are showing you something. They are showing you, look, you are clinging to this identity, you are clinging to this story, you are clinging to this drama, you are clinging to this person that you are. I hate this person. And every week you go eat with her, right? Or with him. I hate him. And you go every week, you answer the phone. And all of this process because it has nothing to do with others. I do that. I need this person to make me feel terrible. So then I can identify with this tension within, and I'm very happy because I'm someone. At least I'm someone. So it's better to be someone in pain than no one in free, because that feels like death. So no one outside me can welcome those emotions, those thoughts, and this sensation. Only myself. And not my false identity, but the light within. This presence can hold everything. And that's beautiful. That's the beauty of this process. It's because that's over time you fall in love with yourself. And it's a beautiful process because I see that every time I feel resistance, that is tension, that is fear, anxiety, guilt, resentment toward all that, let's name it resistance today, right? When I feel this resistance, this is, oh, okay. Oh, there is so much I'm still holding as true. There is so much I'm still believing that is true, and I'm identified with. I believe I must be this person that is acting that way. I believe there is someone that must do something. But there is something within us that the presence that we explore in our meditation, and that's what I offer in my online course, is to find this light that you are already and to learn to explore your experience from that light. And that's the tenderness. So beyond identities, presence has no shape, no form. It shines in eternity. And that's a beautiful idea but that's absolute fear when you identify as a person, because there is no shape, there is no form, there is what are you talking about? I mean, it's like free fall into nothing, right? So that woke up fear within us for the system. But that's really the freedom that is available to us. So the more I am afraid, I'm afraid from that light, the more it's a reflection of how much I am identify with my thought, with my sensation, and my perception. And the less I identify, the more freedom I feel. Not because I have more freedom or because I was bounded, but because I allow myself to be free. I recognize my freedom. It's a recognition. All right, I'm free. That's a joke. That's just a thought. Oh, I can love myself. And really, I love myself already. Isn't that interesting? That's why it's an allowing. I allow something to be recognized. And it's something beyond identities, beyond for what I believe myself to be. It's beautiful. And there's a little poem here of Percy Shelley. Life like a dome of many colored glass. Life like a dome of many colored glass stains the white radiance of eternity. It's beautiful. Like the white radiance of eternity is just like this presence, this infinity that I am. And life is experience. This experience is here that is tainting myself with sensing, perceiving, thinking. Beautiful. When there is no one there to lose or to gain, when there is no good or bad, you can really start to taste life as it is, at the beauty and the miracle that it is. How can anything be? Anything that it's a miracle. Experience is a miracle. It's beautiful. So of course, we go beyond emotionality. We go beyond good and bad. Being nothing, no one, or we are free from all phenomena. At the expansion of joy, the contraction of sadness, all mere appearances. When my body feels contracted, I am not contracted, but I feel the contraction. Yeah, of course. But I'm not contracted. And I feel expanded and my body is transparent. I'm not more free than when I was contracted. When I contract, my mind will make interpretation of fear, anxiety, and stress. And I feel when the body feels expanded, the mind will make interpretation of spaciousness, freedom, and joy. So it's better to have expansion, obviously, and it's natural to seek expansional state of consciousness. But let's be very clear, that doesn't change what you are. This doesn't change what you are. If you have, it has to be clear. Otherwise, you will have different kind of expansion of consciousness or spiritual experiences, and you will cling to it. And this spiritual experience will become another identity to become or to hold on to. Now I am a spiritual person. There is this story of there is a farmer that went to a sage because this farmer has a dream that keep happening every night that he's the king of the realm. So every night he go to sleep and he woke up as the king and he spent the whole day as a king. And when he go to bed as a king, he woke up as a farmer. And he spent his whole day as a farmer. He go to a wise man and he said, which one is true, because one I love and the other I dislike, but at least I don't know which one is true. Which one is true? And the wise men say, neither. You are the light that shines the dream. So then the guy say, oh yeah, I am the light. That's beautiful. That's what I am. And the wise said, this belief that you are the light is the last resistance. We make something out of it. We objectify the light. So this was a small presentation of identification. And there's a beautiful sentence that I think it contained the whole presentation. So sometimes I'm making a lot out of nothing. Of Ramana Maharishi, the Hindu who, I don't know if he's Hindu, but the guy in India that put this question, who am I, at the center of non-duality, and I bring this question forth very strongly. And he used to say, the thinker is a thought. Who you believe you are is a simple thought appearing here and now. So simple, so clean, so beautiful. The thinker is a thought. Beautiful. Yeah. Okay. So this was a small presentation on identification. On my course, I go deeper and we take more time, but on those small presentation, I think it's fun. It's fun to do. I hope that you like, that you enjoy, that you find things useful. And now we're going to move to the questions.